welcome to this reading where today we are looking for messages that someone wishes they could tell you. Now, this is not a spying read. It is really looking for something that somebody really wants to have said to you or wants you to know. So there are 3 groups today, and I do invite you to take a big deep breath, filling your lungs all the way up. And as you breathe out, dropping the shoulders, relaxing the face, and letting your heart and your intuition guide you to whichever group has the most beneficial message for you today. And once you're ready, I will meet you there. Hello, Group 1. So this first message that I am seeing with your group is about stability. This is, I think, from a person who went from a place of more stability to feeling less comfortable, less stable. And I do think that they believe that they can get back to that place of more stability again, but I wonder if something is holding them back in some way, possibly even an issue with their health. And, health could mean all sorts of things. It could be a physical issue, it could be an emotional issue, it could be something like addiction, or a mental health challenge, but whatever this is, it does feel as though they did at one point have some level of success or recognition, and for some reason, and I think it is because of something that they had failed to integrate, something they had failed to look at, maybe a shadow or a warning, or maybe just, one particular issue that they did not adequately address. They lost some of that level of success that they had before. For example, if they were in a position of authority and they drastically underestimated the needs or the experience of one faction of the people over whom they had authority, they may actually have caused a problem or let some people down in a way that made it so that they were no longer suitable to lead those people, or at least not without some further training or experience gathering. Or it could be that they made a decision based on unconscious factors in their own personality. Again, something which if they had done some kind of healing or introspection and found more internal stability before making that choice, they probably would have chosen something more grounded or more healthy. So, because this reading is about what they want to say to you, is this choice something that impacted you in some way? Or is this just something that they want you to know about, why certain things are present in your dynamic with this person? Either way, I get the impression that they are still doing the work of learning or integrating whatever this was that they made a mistake about. And I think that however they build stability in the future, which is something they're working on, they really want to make sure that they are including this new understanding into whatever they build. They really don't want to ignore this again, even if they do want to get back to the same level they were at before. And I am seeing as well that there were really good reasons why they had success or some level of authority before. They are accomplished and smart, and they truly have done good work. So it feels like they are working on learning from their past. Some of them are likely navigating shame or sadness as well, but they are trying to take all of this in so that they can make things right. And again, I think for some of you, this has directly to do with you. They did something which impacted or hurt you in some way, and they're trying to learn from it. But for others of you, they just hope that you understand that this is part of what influences their dynamic with you. Some choice or situation from their past. I think this person has had to do or is still doing shadow work. Maybe looking at the past, at unaddressed traumas or unhealed parts which affected their actions before. This could easily go back all the way to childhood wounding, parts of them which were repressed and influencing their actions without them even realizing. I can see that whatever this is, they really want to make sure that they don't make a mistake like this again. I wonder if for some of you, this is someone who kept you at arm's length, and this is why, because they are so determined not to recreate their past, and they are concerned that they are just not where they want to be in terms of that stability that we keep coming back to. And for others of you, if they did something which made you lose something, then I'm very sorry to say that they just don't know what to do about it. They feel like they don't know how to fix it, and this is quite lonely for them. And it seems as though right now their current foundation or their current stability is tied up in something, which could be to do with their finances, or it could be something to do with their creativity. It might be that they have either invested in a creative project which has them very financially constricted, or their money or some other form of their material world is invested in a feminine energy. This could be a partner or a mother, maybe the mother of their children, but it also could be something within them. It could be a calling or something that they feel they have to do, and they can't let their focus be taken away from that, even if it means that they are lonely. So the next thing that I'm seeing here is that their passion, their drive, their will to take action towards things is actually a little bit on ice. They are not going to take action towards things until they have gone through this process of healing and cleansing. They may have some grief that they need to process. And I think as well that it's very important to this person to get to a place where they feel they have a clear mind. For some of them, if they have gone through a really big disruption, they are protecting their spark. They need their positive energy and their passion to take action to be channeled in very safe directions, because they can't bear the thought of creating by their actions any situation similar to what happened in the past. And I think they also need time to be with the results of their previous actions, Which I don't really mean in the way of like, well, you better sit and think about what you've done. It's not that. It's not a punishing thing. It is actually more along the lines of, say they followed this passion to cultivate a particular skill set and they did really well, but there was something important that they mishandled. They need the time to actually take stock of the benefits of what they pursued and do some work around, I want to say, allowing themselves to recognize the gifts of these skills, even if they didn't quite apply them in a good way. I could imagine here an example of a teacher who has been very dedicated to learning their craft, but at some point, when they're teaching, a student gets hurt and the teacher loses their position. This person is fighting to protect their own sense of self-worth and the value of all the effort they put into building their lives before they made whatever this mistake was, or whatever this choice was that changed things. So they can't connect with you in the way that you might be wishing for because their healing process isn't far enough along. It would be like if they took action towards you and it went wrong just now. That might be too much for this person, or at least that's what they're afraid of, or why they are protecting themselves. But it is interesting because Spirit just came through to me with a message which tells me that they might not have as much to fear as they think they do. So I'm not completely sure what to make of that. Either way, as far as this person is perceiving it, they have too much to lose. Actually, Spirit is showing me something quite surprising here, and I almost feel hesitant to share it because I don't quite know how it fits into the message. But what they're showing me is that this person's passion and their fire is actually transforming them right now. It's like they are getting their spark back, but they are also still being very careful how they direct or use it, because they want it above all things to be a positive force. They want it to be a nurturing flame, the kind that could warm your house in a fireplace, rather than the kind that could get out of control and burn your house down. So it feels like this person hasn't sorted everything out yet, but they really do care about being a positive influence on the world. It feels like they know they still have good things to offer, but they are being careful in how they do it, making sure that they are doing it in a safe way. And the parts of what they do that they are less confident are safe for others, they are holding back on how they use those things or allow those things to be seen. Maybe that is parts of their personality that they're holding back, or maybe it's parts of their skill set. But it looks like part of why they hold back is that they don't want to make a mistake with anyone. I could also see an energy here where if it's not that they're holding back on working with a particular skill set, what they're doing is really trying to appreciate what they have. Let's say that they missed out on having more, which could be having more with you. This person is focused on enjoying what they do have, even if it might not be as much as they would have wanted. They are trying to appreciate what is still present in their lives. Almost like, well, I made my bed and now I am going to enjoy lying in it. They really want to make sure that they don't lose what they have left. So another thing that this person wishes that you knew is that they are not completely closed off to you, but they can't offer you very much at once. They might have some readiness to connect with you, but if they do, it's only going to be a little at a time. Or it's like part of them is willing to connect with you, but they're not sure if it would take them onto dangerous territory. They haven't quite sorted out within themselves whether the way that they would be connecting with you is among the safe things that they have to offer, or if it might be better to leave it alone. And maybe this is because they don't totally feel safe within themselves. They are not sure where their boundaries are, or if they might make another mistake. And maybe they also have some hesitation because they're not sure that you will see them in a good light. Because I am getting that they need to feel cared for. And I want to put a caveat on that to say, if this person is actually showing you red flags, then please don't ignore that in the name of caring for them. Don't override any warnings that your intuition is giving you because you can see good in this person. They may well be a really good person, but if they don't do some more work, they could be hurtful again. And that may not be all of them, it may just be some of them. So I just want you to trust yourself. One thing that I am seeing in their purification or their healing process is that they might in part have got their priorities just a little askew. They might have put material gain over some form of authenticity or purity, like material gain above balance or above other people's well-being. Or if this isn't material gain, it might be some other form of gain. Think of a person who immediately jumps from one relationship into the next because they want that secure feeling of being in a relationship, but they still haven't done the work of self-examination or generating internal stability that if they had done that work, then the previous relationship wouldn't have collapsed in the first place. And I don't see that this is a harmful person, not a truly harmful person. I think that in general, this is someone with really good intentions. But they do have this healing work to do, and they haven't quite sorted out how their pure intentions fit into a complicated world. And I'm getting another message here that for some of you, this person really likes that you do see them in a good light. There is a part of their inner child that so much wants to be perceived that way and given nurturing or even given indulgent love. But there's a level of protection being given to you here because really this person in this reading is not a child, and there are adult responsibilities that they mustn't forget. Maybe it is even the case that it was following this inner child's desire for love and nurture that got them in trouble in the first place. If they were chasing that feeling of being cherished and failed to take accountability for their behavior or their responsibilities. So the last thing that this person wants you to know is that they are trying to find out what's true right now. They are trying to understand how they should engage with love and with trust. And I think that they want to be connected into a flow of love that is truthful and stable, and they don't want to be confused about the material aspect of things and the considerations that we have to take into account being here on Earth. So there is a song coming through as part of this message from them. It is from the Pixar film Brave. That is one of my daughter's favorite films right now. So the song is very sweet, and what's coming through is this. This love, it is a distant star, guiding us home wherever we are. This love, it is a burning sun, shining a light on the things that we've done. I tried to speak to you every day, but the words we spoke, the wind blew away. Could these walls come crumbling down? I want to feel my feet on the ground and leave behind this prison we share. Step into the open air. This person really wants to find a place of trust and freedom. And I think that whatever your connection is with them, your connection inspires them further on that path. I do need to say I'm not completely sure that this means that this person wants to come towards you if that is something that you want, even if they do care deeply about you. But at the same time, you are this inspiration and this catalyst to this person to keep trying to find the truth, keep trying to be in an authentic expression of their soul. And I do think that for some of you, this person might seek to reconnect at some point, but for others, even though they love you, they need to walk their own path. But Group 1, I think you have illuminated a lot for this person and inspired them further towards being in that place of authenticity. And for some, they may want to clear the air with you. And for others, I think this person holds back because they want to protect both you and themselves. They are working on their own self-concept right now, rather than wearing any masks or taking on outside influences as though it is their own. So Group 1, I'm going to leave you here, and I hope that this message brought you something meaningful, and I do wish you all the very best. Hello, Group 2. I sense an immediate sadness here, but also the feeling of someone trying to focus on the good that might be possible if they can navigate all of their burdens and difficulties. This is someone making an effort to stay in a place of hope. Interestingly, I get for some of you the feel of a passed-on loved one, so maybe some of you had someone who wished they could have said something before they died. There is, I want to say, a very loving energy here. And I wonder if for some of you there was something that was meant to be for you, meant to be protected for you, but there is some confusion around it. There is a tangle of different actions or intentions which somehow clouded this and made it so that faith or hope for a good outcome became a big part of the energy. Faith or hope rather than certainty, if this makes sense. So instead of having this certainty that something is for you, there is instead this feeling of hoping for it in the future. Or this could be someone who is confused and having this tangle of different influences within themselves, and they are hoping to find some guidance for how to get to a positive outcome with you. And I wonder if there is also perhaps a question about a leap of faith here. Someone might be trying to work out if they can end a cycle and make the transition into something new. Maybe for some of you, this was someone who didn't take a leap of faith towards you, and so something which was intended for you didn't come to you. For some, this could be inheritance that was meant to be yours, but something happened and this person feels stuck. But you will have to bear with me because there are a couple of different messages here, and I wonder if for some people there is more than one person who wants to address something coming through. There are multiple different kinds of energy, and I'm trying to differentiate between them. For some of you, this is someone who was meant to take that leap towards you, but they were too intimidated by the unknown element of it, and they cannot see a clear path with this situation right now. For others of you, there is someone here who perceives you as very beautiful, and maybe your beauty is what is giving this person hope as they are in some other situation. Or again, there's another message. Some of you had someone in your life who had an agreement with someone that they loved very much, that they would take care of something for you. But whatever they were supposed to take care of for you, they fell at some hurdle in trying to do that. And then again, for others, this is someone who loves you and is very drawn to your beauty, but they don't know how to get out of their own way. They're falling at their own kind of internal hurdle. But with all of these messages, there is this pull towards you, or there is this wish towards you, and somehow it's just not quite coming into being. So this could be someone who is building something, building their abundance, and maybe you are the inspiration for that. And I keep being drawn back to the 10 of Wands in reverse. It's as though what they're showing me is that this person is trying in all these different ways to build something to recover what they wanted to give you, but nothing is coming out right, and they are struggling with the unknown and struggling to see beyond where they are now. It's like they are looking for the Empress, but they are tangled in the 10 of Wands. And the irony of that is that the 10 of Wands could even be the very branches of this Empress tree. And what lies in between the two is a sense of worthiness or contentment or being able to receive worthiness. I keep coming back to worthiness. So I think I'm understanding more now. The important thing, the thing that bears the most significance for this person is the Empress, is the beauty, the feeling, the energy of the Empress. And right now, they may have built some level of stability, some foundation which makes them want to be connected to her and share with her, but some are caught up in their heads about it, or some part of them is holding back or questioning if they will still be able to do this. And that's mixed. For some, they're feeling like maybe they should just stay where they're at because at least it's predictable and orderly where they are and they don't need to be confused. So some of them really just want to protect what they have, and even though they are so drawn to your beauty and even though they perceive you as so important, they also find that you represent some kind of threat or confusion or possible ending for this person. And with the way that the energy of this reading is a bit all over the place, really, it's hard to pin down. I am wondering if for some of you this person is really conflicted and confused and feeling really strongly in one direction and then shifting and feeling really strongly in another direction. But there is significance tied up with this sense of personal worth and security here. So in some cases this person may have settled and said, I don't need everything. I don't need, for example, connection if I can have a predictable routine. So some of them are facing triggers in their nervous system, and maybe they are sacrificing connection with you because they need that feeling of safety. If there is an evolution or the possibility of greater abundance which could happen with you, it might also require some really uncomfortable facing of patterns holding them back, and they might not be ready or willing to do it, even if part of them wants to. This person is struggling with trust. And I think if this is someone who passed on and there was something unfinished between you when they died, they want you to know that this is what they were struggling with at the time. For some of them, they didn't know how to break out of what they were in. So what this person wants you to know, they want you to know that this needs patience. They want you to know that they are trying to manifest something more calm and something that they can share, but they are not there yet. They want you to know that they love you, but they are tied up in something else right now. They want you to know that they feel depleted, but they would like to be in a place where they feel like there's something to share. They want you to know that if they do come to a place of sharing with you, they want to make sure that what they share is of high quality truth, a high quality message. They want you to know that they are looking to the future, but they just don't want to cultivate something that isn't good or sustaining. And they want you to know that they are trying to regulate their system. And I feel as though this person has some healing to do around how they take action in the world. Whether that is because they are too guarded or too fiery, they are trying to bring it to a softer and more balanced place. And I'm also feeling like they don't want to feel stuck anymore. And I'm wondering if this is that they don't want to feel stuck in a pattern which has dominated a lot of their choices, not just the situation with you. They are trying to bring all of the different elements of their character into harmony. Something else that they want you to know is that you represent something divine, something aspirational to them. I'm coming back to this feeling of extraordinary beauty, as though you feel otherworldly to them, and it's hard for them to feel as though they can live up to this. So maybe they push it away. You feel like an invitation or an offering or an initiation into something that they are just not sure if they can access right now. And if this is a passed on loved one who couldn't break out of some kind of pattern when they were alive, they are really hopeful that you will be able to continue finding peace. And I think they believe that you have what it takes to break this pattern yourself, if it is some form of generational healing, or they are honoring that you are working with that. It's like they want you to pay attention to the ethers. They want you to listen to your intuition and trust your senses, clear your mind. And I think that they want you to enjoy what the world has to offer, to nourish yourself and be kind to yourself, and they want you to be in good health. So this is honestly kind of a confusing reading. Are there lots of people coming through for you, or is this making sense to someone? I would love to know. If there's maybe been painful situations with multiple people, but you know what I want to say? Okay, this reading is quite frustratingly a mirror. This reading is completely defined by the divine feminine. We have Mary Magdalene appearing as though this empress tree is dropping petals on her crown, blessing her, recognizing her beauty. And it's such a true and pure and embodied beauty. And again, I see more than one thing with this. So, first of all, if this is a message from someone, they want you to understand that part of what has held them back is not believing that they are lovable. They have shame or guilt or doubt or whatever it is, or whatever they think they've done, or whatever they think about themselves. It's making them guard themselves and stay away from you. And it is because they are too afraid to engage with the idea that they are lovable, and goodness knows maybe they've done some terrible things, but part of what holds them back is their shame. This is like a core wound with this person. But the thing is that it reflects you too. And that isn't me saying that you've done terrible things. I have no idea what you've done. But this situation, or these situations, if there's multiple, they are inviting you to see your own divinity and your own lovable nature. In Mary Magdalene, I see a blessing on your crown, your connection to the divine. I see an activation of your knowing your divine nature as an embodied being on this earth. And I see a cleansing, or more like a recalibration of your energy. And as much as this person may have been too afraid to take a leap of faith towards you, I also see that you were blocked in some way from faith in your own divine nature and your worthiness to receive. And you are being more tuned to your divinity right now, your worthy and true being. And so if there were blockages that you had against believing in this for yourself, those are being cleared with infinite love. Infinite love growing more possibilities in your life, more abundance, more to appreciate. I want to say that this is the true treasure promised to you, is your clear knowing of your divine worth, your divine beauty, your true and love-filled nature. Because no matter where you are, you're divine. No matter where you are, divine love is with you. You are loved, and that much is promised to you always. So you're invited. Please enjoy the sweetness of the world. Please know how remarkable it is that you are here. You are able to taste and feel and see this beauty and hold all of these different emotions and curiosities in your body. And know that the very things that you are afraid will trap you or hold you back may also bless you and initiate you into the truth of your divinity. There are so many challenges to being in this world. There are material challenges and health challenges and emotional and ethical and all kinds of things that trip us up, but at the heart of them is something extraordinarily, unbelievably beautiful, and the extraordinarily beautiful thing is you. You experiencing life. I don't think there's much more I can say. Group 2. Oh my goodness. If this is someone who passed on, they want you to know how beyond amazing you are. And if this is someone living who thinks that you are stunning, but they're too afraid to come towards you, they want you not to lose the understanding that you are incredible. And if this is someone who doesn't know how to break a cycle that they feel protects them right now, they want you to know that they have never lost admiration for you, even if they are overwhelmed. This is a message of love, even if it's from someone who feels stuck. So, group 2, I'm overwhelmed by your message. Remember that you are very beautiful, and that there is so much to experience living here. And I wish you all the very best. Hello, group 3. So this message is from someone who for some time had obscured their own desires from themselves. They had kind of blocked it by overthinking. But they are now in more of a place of clarity about what it is that they desire, or what it is that is guiding their heart or their inspiration in some way. There is a remarkable theme of balance showing up in the Wild Unknown Tarot here. From the Two of Swords to the Two of Pentacles to the Seven of Wands, where it appears as though some desires have been categorized on one side and some on the other, but there is this choice or this priority, and one desire or passion or, inspiration standing out as most important. So this does feel like a person who has found their passion or their inspiration to move forward or to think about moving forward. It does feel as though there has been a certain amount of reflection that this person has had to go through. I think they had to reconcile the conflicting parts of them and hold those in balance in order to find this clarity. And they had to welcome all the different parts of themselves as part of this process and fully feel this out before they arrived at identifying this priority. I do see that they were quite anxious about this while it was not feeling clear to them. They felt quite blocked, and I think that they are still anxious and they are not totally sure how to overcome these blockages or this overthinking, but they do feel the burn of intention to do so. So I'm not sure that this person is out of the woods exactly, but they are looking at a path. For many of them, this might require balancing the material elements of their life and finding a way to keep things flowing as far as their material well-being goes. But I'm also seeing that whereas this person might previously have been in a flow of just balancing their survival needs and following the routine of what needed to get done, what they have now is the return of the spark of passion. And I actually just got that hit of anxiety again, like they are feeling this passion, but they're quite worried. Worried about how it's going to interact with this stable and reliably clear energy that they were in before. So it's like they were worried that they wouldn't be able to honor all the different parts of themselves in considering choosing this direction. And they're also worried about what choosing this direction is going to do for their status quo, whether it's going to upset everything for them. But right now they're seeing this choice, or they're seeing this priority as being in alignment with a sense of higher purpose. It is lighting up something that feels in line with their spirit. I feel like this person is struggling a bit to know how to approach this, what action to take. I think they are sorting through a bunch of different impulses, but they are trying to stay on track. And I'm wondering if there was an opportunity that this person wasn't sure if they should take. It's as though they were building their world building their emotional and material foundation, and they weren't sure exactly what the right ingredients for that were going to be. And they do want to be sure that there is sweetness and nourishment in their life, and so they've tried to be really clear about what they're establishing for themselves. But the thing is, there is an element of timing to this. This choice can represent long-term and sustaining stability, but if they wait too long, they're going to lose it. So I think that even though they've been hesitant about this, they are wanting to make this choice towards this inspiration. So I wonder if this is choosing you, connection with you for some of you. It could easily be that they're at the point of understanding that you are not going to wait around forever. On the other hand, this could be an opportunity for some other kind of abundance, whether that is material or emotional. They could be choosing a creative path, but it hasn't been easy for them to make this decision. I think one of the things that is most important to understand is that there are certain things that this person really cares about. It matters to them that the different parts of them are being honored and integrated. So, we don't always even fully agree with ourselves on certain things, and I think that this person wants to take stock of that and make sure that they do feel fully in alignment with their choice. It matters to them that they're able to be in balance as far as the practical details of their life go. And it also matters that whatever it is that fills their cup, it's something that supports and nourishes and sustains them long term. They do not want to bring unstable or disruptive energy into their life. And I suspect that this person has really strong reasons for not wanting unstable energy around them. Whatever they've been through in their past means that this person is quite fierce about their boundaries, and they just don't want anything to upset their peace. I think that they may also be somewhat overwhelmed at the thought of how to navigate this. Even if it does feel abundant and inspiring, they are still trying to understand the best path forward, and it's taken quite a bit for them to decide to leave their comfort zone. I'm going to say that this person's comfort zone was a space of necessary healing in their life. It was a respite from the world that damaged them, and that is a big part of why they're so attached to it. This was the place where their nervous system finally got the calm and the regulation that it needed. And so even though it might not have been quite complete in terms of everything they wanted, it was safe and it felt like home. So there is a hopefulness for this person, but there is also apprehension. They feel aligned with this choice or this passion that is calling them forwards, but they don't fully feel safe. So if this is a choice towards you, it's going to really help this person if you are able to be a safe space for them and accept the fears that they have, even the ways that they might instinctively push you away a little. And by the way, that is only if you want to. If you want to be a safe space for this person, then that will likely be very meaningful to them. But if you don't want to take that on, that's your choice too. I want to say at this moment in time, this person is probably quite conflict averse. So if they are met with conflict or input that puts them back into feeling dysregulated too quickly, I could well imagine this person will bolt and shut the door, shut the boundaries back up around their personal safe space. But this person is hoping that you will forgive their period of indecision. They are trying to navigate this space between two worlds right now, and they're human. I think it's also important to understand that this is a complex and layered person, and they need the multiplicity of their character to be acceptable. I think that what might also be true is that whether this person chooses one path or another, the primary choice within them is going to be the direction that feels most aligned with their spirit. They are trusting the trajectory of their spirit above the details of the world, if that makes sense. To put it another way, their primary commitment is to their own spirit journey, and any external agreements or commitments that they make to people or to careers or whatever it is in this physical world, those are secondary to this person's spirit journey, their evolution. I'm thinking that this is not someone who is going to become overly identified with any relationship or job or hobby or anything that seems in any way transient. And, our lives are transient. I kind of get the impression that this is a person who thinks in terms of being a soul living over many lifetimes. So if they don't get something done now, or if they are doing something now but it's not ultimately, what represents their soul, they're not completely attached. They are very much looking at the big picture. So it might be a good thing if you have a similar alignment. If you are also in this place of being most aligned with your soul, your evolution, and your journey. I do think that this person sees this choice or this clarity that has come forward as being in alignment with this, though, and at the same time they are probably going to wait for input from their spirit or their guidance before they move with certainty. They're going to be feeling it out, paying attention to what feels true for them and trying not to get lost in any illusion or self-delusion. So they really want to make sure that they are following what is most divinely aligned for them. And they may take pauses to make sure that that's still where they feel that they are at. This person, they have a good heart, but they have a guarded heart. And I want to say it's not always plain sailing being close with them with that kind of guardedness. So maybe one thing to note is that being close with this person may also be best served by you taking pauses to understand your most divinely aligned path. You also need to be referring to your intuition and your inner guidance and not putting your worth outside yourself. I do think that this is a very perceptive and intuitive person as well, someone very capable of balancing lots of different forms of input and holding multiple concepts at the same time. They might have a very agile mind, and accepting and interacting with their mind in all its many layers of understanding may be part of gaining access to this person's heart. Or, to think of it another way, their heart is warm and loving, but their mind is fiercely observant and protective. So if they see something out of line with them or something that seems like a red flag to them, they will probably close off or create stronger boundaries much more quickly. So maybe they also have a process of forgiving certain things they see because they know their mind can be a little harsh in its alertness and a little overprotective. So they might also be often bringing some gentleness to their own perspective. And maybe this process of softening their own harsh perspective has been a longer-term personal work for them, as it might have negatively impacted some previous commitments in their life, whether that is being overly critical of themselves or others, but I think most likely both themselves and others. So in this journey of building a calm and gentle, sustaining energy into their life, they could also be softening their own habitually critical nature into something more comprehensively nurturing, particularly toward themselves. So whether they self-sabotaged in previous commitments, or whether they were overly acerbic and cutting towards others, this is also part of what they are integrating when they are in this choice-making process. And I do think that they have done work on facing this, but maybe they are also feeling that they have further to go. And this is another reason why they are nervous to follow this impulse or make this choice right now, because they are concerned that they haven't done enough yet, or they might get hooked into an old behavior. So, Group 3, I do see a lot of potential here and reasons to feel hopeful and inspired. And I think that they are acknowledging that part of this inspiration is born of their desire, their own secret wants or passion, which they could have been suppressing in some way. And they're also being clear, very clear with themselves about all of these anxieties and concerns that they do have. So I would say that this situation is still quite delicate, and gentleness and safety are probably a key part of forward movement, both from them and likely also from you if this is an energy that they bring towards you. If the connection with this person is something that you want, and if they've shown you things which make you feel that it's not what you want, then that's for you to identify and do your own work of reflecting on this situation. So I'm not seeing much more about this person's message right now, Group 3, but I hope that this has given you some insight that you didn't have before, and I will say goodbye and wish you all the very best.